Deactivate. Get it together.
What's your thing? guacamole machu. What's up, people? Oh my goodness. Happy Tuesday. Yes, Turtle Boy had rescheduled his live for tomorrow. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to settle for me until you know, I get sick of being here. So it's good to see you guys. I would love for you guys to meet someone. This is Ivan Drago. Yes, Ivan Drago. Ivan Drago gets an applause for sure. Now, I got to tell you guys. Now you see Clubber right now, right? He seems kind of jealous. He's a little jealous. Not really though. I got to tell you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, like you're done. That's it. Your heart's melted. It's over. Like it's done. It's done. I mean, it's like
I think we got a super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. I think we got a super cat.
Thank you so much, Jen Kitty. I appreciate you. Jen Kitty, get it? I love it. And oh my good. Sid Godness became a YouTube member. Excellent. Yeah, let me tell you guys. All right, because dude, I'm telling you, this little dude right here is okay. So here's the story. Okay, here's the story. This is how I ended up with Ivan Drago. All right, now that's his full name and that's his name on paper. But if I call him, and it's just better to refer to him as Drago, or Drago, Dolph Lundgren in Rocky 4, since we've already got a clubber from Rocky 3. So this little guy right here, I made an appointment. I walked into the pet spa place to make an appointment for Clubber. Yeah, you. I'm talking about you. You're just gonna have to hold on a second. Now he's not jealous because the cat is getting love and attention from me. He wants his buddy. He wants his playmate, dude. He's pissed off because I haven't put him down yet. But I'll get to that in a second. Clubber, you're just gonna have to wait, homie. So, now what ended up happening was I walk into this place to make an appointment for Clubber. They have kittens up for adoption. And I specifically asked for a male cat only because I've had only one cat. I've only owned one cat in my life, and he was a male. And every male cat I've met were more affectionate than female cats. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But I just figured if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I was like, well, which one's a male, right? And then she handed me this little dude. And immediately, like, he put his head in my hand and just started like he's doing right now. Like he was just done. Like that was it. Like right there, he was just like, and I was like, okay. I was like, that's it. All right. I went, I picked up, I spent an insane amount of money on cat stuff. Because you don't shop for a new cat when you just fell in love with that cat. Dude, you hear him yelling at me? He never yells. You hear him right now? Hold on a second, baby boy. He is very protective of him. And so I got everything set up for him. I went back, I picked him up. And Clubber immediately fell in love with him. And this little dude fell in love with him. I thought this dude just rolled up into my bedroom like he owned it and just started running around. And then the two of them, I was kind of worried, but Clubber will bite him and lick him but bite him real soft. They're love bites, And look, he's just giving him kisses. He's not giving me kisses. He's giving him kisses. He doesn't give a fuck about me anymore, people. Clubber does not give a fuck about me anymore. Clubber gives a fuck about his little brother now. It's crazy. And I'm telling you, like the little GIF that I made and put on Twitter, that was literally the first time they came face to face. And then right after that, they started just like wrestling around. This dude just is in bliss, purring, eyes closed and pawing at his face. His clubber's licking him. And that last night, we just snuggled. The three of us just slept and snuggled. He's already kitty litter trained. This little dude is a dream come true. And he loves Clubber, and Clubber loves him. And now I got to give Clubber, okay, baby boy. Here, say bye. Say bye to everybody. Say bye. Go on. Go play with your friend. Like, this literally happened, people. This is not, I'm not just saying this shit to tell stories. I'm telling you, this fucking happened. So, Clubber has a water bowl, a water dish, right? A big water dish. Because he's kind of a big dog now, you know? And Drago, I got him a little double thing, you know, for food and water, right? It had water in it, but for some reason he prefers to drink out of the big ass bowl. He prefers to like almost fall in to the big ass bowl and drink out of it. Whatever, fine. And I was worried that Clubber was going to get territorial about it. Clubber did not get territorial about it. And what was really interesting was Drago got a little territorial about it, but he's a baby. I mean, he's a baby. Clubber's a baby. He's my baby, but he's like, Drago's a baby. And Drago, get Clubber. Tell him not to eat your food, dude. Yeah, Clubber's been eating his food, and I yelled at him for it, and now Drago's eating Clubber's food. Whatever. Fuck it. Anyway. So this actually happened. So then Clubber goes later on to drink out of his own bowl, right? Clubber goes later on to drink out of his own bowl, and Drago's right behind him like, dude, what the fuck, you know? And then Clubber finishes, and normally Clubber almost like clockwork, always when he finishes drinking water, he comes up to me almost to say thank you. Comes to me drooling with water dripping all from his jowls, and he says thank you pretty much, and it's amazing. It's the sweetest thing in the world. This time, what he did was he went right behind Drago. He was confused. Drago was sitting there confused. Clubber, with his nose, nudged his butt toward the water bowl as if to tell him, go have as much of my water as you want, dude. Like, Clubber is completely in love with this cat. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, I had hoped that at least they would just stay out of each other's way. But I mean, I fell in love with this cat. So, but I was like, you know, they'll adjust, and they'll learn to coexist, you know? But no, I could not have expected what I mean. Dude, my heart was like being wrung out in knots, like melting. I almost cried out of joy watching the two of them playing together. Blew my mind. I had to share it with everybody on social media. I had to. And everybody, there was like 2 trolls in the Twitter thing, and everybody was really nice, man. I want to thank everybody who left nice comments, man, in my Twitter posts, because everybody left like really nice comments, man. So thank you guys for that. So, yeah. So now, yeah, it's really crazy. It's like we got this happy little family. Like, I woke up on top of the world, went to the gym at like 6:30 in the morning. You know, like I felt like I feel like I got this little family right now, dude. It's the coolest fucking feeling right now. It's wild. Now Clubber's eating his food. He's like, no. Wow. Mind blowing watching them hang out together. Yeah.
I think we got a super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. super cat. I think we got a super cat. I think we got a super cat.
The petty paralegal, my dad joke, homie. We have an orange cat too, and you are going to have so much fun, Will. Thanks for all you do. Love your show. Oh, thank you. You're amazing. I appreciate it, petty paralegal. Yeah, like I don't, everybody keeps talking about, like, I saw a lot of comments about that, about an orange, like orange cats, right? That they're somehow, and they share one brain cell. I kept seeing that comment too, that I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about cats. I don't even really know anything about dogs. I really don't. All I know is they're awesome, and I love them, and I like taking care of them, and I like spoiling them. That's all I know. That's all I know. I don't know shit about them. That's it. And I had a cat before, and man, I adored this cat, dude. I had this cat, and I was in Miami, and I'll try to make this story short because I know we want to get on with the other stuff, that's the topics at hand. But I had this other cat. He was a male, and the way I got him was I had a mental break, you could call it, and then ended up in a very, very low place, and ended up having to live out of a hotel room, out of like an extended stay type place, but like in East Hialeah, like a really, really, like, yeah, like a flop house, totally. Kristen Marie, thank you. Put this into the pet fund. Thank you, Kristen Marie. I appreciate it. Like a fucking, yeah. And my ex-girlfriend was actually really nice. We had stayed friends, but we had broken up. And she came over at one point and said, "Hey, I'm moving in with my dad, and my dad is allergic to my cat, and can you take my cat?" So I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And Jesus, I already forgot the cat's name. Her cat. It's not the cat I took in, so but I can't remember her cat's name already. And it's funny because, like, I knew like 3 people with different cats that had the same name, and I'm just like, why does everybody name their cat this? It's weird. Anyway, so she brings the cat over, and this is a girl who's like one of the most awesome people I've ever known in my entire life, first off. But she's also somebody who has like street smarts, raised by her dad, street smarts, grew up in Hialeah. She knows her shit. You know what I mean? But she would also, like, she's also the type of person who went through 5 cell phones in like a matter of, like, I don't know, 40 days. She kept leaving them places. So she pulls up to, oh, Beverly, thank you for the Venmo. I appreciate it. She pulls up to my hotel, my motel, and she the cat's in the car. I see the carrier for the cat in the car in the back seat, and I see, the kitty litter and whatnot, and I just go to open the door. I'm actually kind of excited, because it was really lonely there, so it's almost like being in prison. It was really fucked up because, like, I couldn't afford to get out of there, and like they charged so much money, so, and all the hours that I could get at my job at the time was just enough to cover keeping that room. So I was starving all the time. It just sucked. It was terrible. And we're talking, this is like 15 years ago, almost 15 years ago. And I'm there. I go to open the door. She goes, "No, no, 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 no." Too late. I open the door. Cat runs away, right? Cat runs off. And I'm like, I'm like, I see the carrier. You didn't put the cat in the carrier. That's what the carrier's for, right? Like, I was a dick. I was more of a dick back then, if you could believe it. This wasn't even when I actually hit bottom. Just mind you. This wasn't even yet then. But I I was like, so like, I saw the carrier. You didn't put that. I mean, the purpose of it was for situations like this where you transport the cat from your place to mine. And so she's like, I know. And then I left it alone. And so we go all around the neighborhood trying to find them. I grab cat food that she brought over. I'm trying to lure the cat with cat food. That doesn't work. I told you I don't know anything about cats. I'm sitting there trying to lure the cat with cat food. We end up and it's letting us get close enough to follow it. It stops. She looks back, and then when we get close enough, she takes off again, right? And she does this for a couple blocks, skips through a yard, ends up going into this one yard. I end up going and we end up walking into the place. Turns out to be like a retirement home, right? And we explained to the front desk person, Clever, leave him alone. We explained to the front desk person what's going on, and then we're like, can we take a look at in back there? Is it okay? We're not here to bother anybody. We just want to see if we can find our cat. And she goes, yeah, you can totally look back there if you want. So we get back there, and I'm telling you, people, I've never seen more cats in one place in my life. It was a sea of strays. Just, I mean, a fucking sea in this entire back area of this little retirement center. And then we see her cat up in the tree right there by the fence, takes off, almost winked at me. I swear it almost fucking winked at me, takes off. And I'm like, so of course, my ex, she's like, oh God, she's like, I'm like, well, there's a bunch of cats here. She's like, I don't want any other cat. I want my cat. I'm like, yeah, that was stupid. I'm sorry. And I'm like, but look at all these. I mean, we're talking kittens, full growns, everything. Every color, every breed, everything. I've never seen so many cats in one place in my life. And then there's this one little dude that he's just at my heels everywhere I walked. This one little dude. And he's just meowing at me. He's looking up at me and meowing and meowing and meowing. And I look at her and I'm like, hey, listen, your cat doesn't want to be found, but we're here. We got all this cat stuff. Really not the best time to bring that up because she was like really upset. But I was like, I mean, look at this. What am I supposed to do with that? You know what I mean? I was like, what am I supposed to do with that? I'm supposed to just leave this cat here. I can't just leave this cat here. This all seems like it's not an accident, And she was cool like that. She was like, you're probably right, And I took him home, and then she actually felt fine after that. She felt better. She was like, whatever. He's a cat. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna go. This cat was a fucking whore. Okay, when I was with her, okay, this cat would take off because it was an outside cat anyway, and it would take off. And then some lady comes over and knocks on our fucking door and says, hey, have you seen my cat? Because I've seen her come over here. Right? Apparently, this cat has been going over to this lady's house and hanging out and getting fed. You know what I'm saying? This cat was crafty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd never seen that happen before. But she came over like, have you seen my cat? We were like, your cat? The fuck are you talking about, lady? Crazy, right? So, yeah. I mean, I took this little dude home. On the TV was, what was it? Right, Every Which Way But Loose. And with the orangutan driving the truck, the orangutan, right? And the orangutan's name was Clyde. And I was still already jaded and tired of trying to think of band names from my old band. And we had a band name forever already, but I was like, I don't want to go through that again. So I was like, your name's Clyde. And so I named him Clyde. And Clyde lived with me for years. He was fucking amazing, and he was the sweetest cat in the world. And every time I walked out the door, I would hear him meowing. And every time I would approach the door, he would run to the door and meet me meowing. And he was super well behaved, incredibly affectionate, always cuddled with me, loved being pet. He's just a good cat. And then when I actually did hit bottom, I begged my mom to take him, and my mom took him, and then gave him, well, had some neighbors take care of him until I was able to take him back. But they grew close to him, and there's kids in that family, so I just didn't have the heart to take him back. I mean, these things, we are exactly where we're supposed to be, right now. So I had to really, accept that, and I would. He was bringing joy to another family, and I know what kind of joy he can bring. So I just could not bring myself to, make a stink of it and be like, well, he's my cat, blah, blah, blah. No, they took him in when they didn't have to take him in, and they got close to him, and that's it. And everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, because here we are years later. I'm in the best place I've ever been mentally in my life. And I've got a little fur family, man. I'm stoked. I'm happy. So I have you guys to share that with. It's really, really cool. Things are really, really cool right now. So I'm really glad that I got to share that with you guys. Thank you guys. So apparently, let me see something here real quick. Let's get right into this. All right. So this is from NBC 10 Boston. And Judge Cannoni still set to oversee Karen Reed's retrial. Now, before I get into this, if you remember, we talked about it before, and Howie Carr had tweeted something, and he never said that it was for sure. He said that he had a reliable source, and that's it, that he was not certain that this was the case. But he got it from a reliable source that Judge Bev would be out, and it makes sense that he would draw that conclusion. Okay, I'll get into that in a second. But and all of us on Twitter, we were all so happy. We were all, last time I was live, we were singing praises, and I see Melanie's in the chat. It's good to see you, Melanie. Amazing. She actually made it into the chat. Amazing. We were all so happy. Oh, what's up, Kelly Reed? It's good to see you. Okay, so Peter Murphy is alive and well and not in jail. And speaking of which, real quick, sort of off the subject, in that subject, before I even get into all this, let me do this. First of all, let me make a couple of plugs. Well, I'll do that in a second. But tomorrow, I'll be streaming the Richie Rubber Ducky hearing. I have the Zoom link for that, and I will be streaming that tomorrow morning. I know that there's going to be some people out there, and yes, and I'm glad that Peter Murphy is alive and well and not in jail, because we love Peter Murphy here. But tomorrow, yes, 9 a.m. I have it all set up already. I will be streaming the Ducky Gate fiasco, the great Ducky caper. And next Tuesday, 6:30 p.m., I believe, I will be on Dana and Tracy's channel, Resistant to Silence. I'm excited about that. Please make sure to remind Sherry, because see, these guys, there's something that I can't really relate to. It's called organized. And that plans that far ahead is just not something that I generally do on this channel. So I'm like really scared of forgetting. like at the last minute, like I'll set a live, and then at the last minute, like, oh well, I was supposed to be on Resistance to Silence 6. But I am really looking forward to it. They just had a great live with Esty. And they just said, "Oh, Nancy, thank you for the Venmo. I appreciate it." And yeah, she's the one who like goes out to, like, she went out to the State House and did a standout like by herself. Yeah, Esty. Yeah. She did a standout at the State House like by herself, dude. Amazing. Like, so she was up there and she was talking about how she's motivated by all this stuff. It was really, really fascinating to watch. It was great. So I'm looking forward to being on Resist to Silence and talking with Dana and Tracy on Tuesday. And now tomorrow night. Now, I know Turtle Boy's going to be live. It's fine, but do yourself a favor and catch the replay of this, because I'm going to be on the Hannibal and Monty show again, and it is literally my favorite YouTube show of all time. Easily, without question, easily my favorite YouTube show, live YouTube show. Those guys are really, really good people, and they are fucking hilarious. So those two things to me make for a really quality person. And I get to hang out with two of them and talk about movies, and I get stoked every time I get to do that. And it's really funny because it's a little awkward, because tomorrow we're going to be talking about the worst the worst black scary movies, I think is what they called it. Yeah, let me go to my real quick. Hold on. Yeah, the best horror movies. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna have a blast. And I have to catch up on. I've only seen one of them. There were two of them that I didn't see. So I'm not gonna just sit up there and be like, I didn't see that one, man. But these guys are the best. They are so funny. And I'm really excited about it. So if you want to just have an escape from all of this stressful subject matter, and just have a good laugh, go check out their replay. I left the link up in my community. So now, so let's see what this article says. Judge Cannoni still set to oversee Karen Reed's retrial. There is no change in the works for who will preside over Karen Reed's retrial. Judge Beverly Cannoni will oversee proceedings scheduled for January in Norfolk Superior Court, a court representative said Monday. The statement was issued following chatter on social media, including from talk radio host Howie Carr, suggesting that Cannoni would have a new court assignment that might mean a new judge would preside over the trial. Carr on Monday acknowledged that Cannoni's transition out of the role of regional administrative justice wouldn't affect her participation in the closely watched Reed case. Here's the full statement to NBC 10 from the trial court spokesperson. In Superior Court, regional administrative justices and their leaders serve in their leadership roles for 3 years. How did he get back there, dude? Hold on. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. All right. Hopefully that'll hold. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, there's another part of this area that I have closed off so Clubber doesn't like get in there and chew stuff up. And I can keep an eye on him, but Drago's a kitten and he got back there. And so I had to go dig him out. So let's get back to this. In Superior Court, regional administrative justices and their leaders serve in their leadership roles for 3 years after they rotate out of them, barring exceptional circumstances. For that reason, several administrative justices and their leaders will in 2025 rotate out of those roles, including Judge Cannoni from her role as regional administrative justice in Norfolk County. Judge Cannoni will continue to serve in Norfolk County in 2025 and will preside over the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed case in January. She will also assume the chair of the Superior Court's Criminal Committee. Wow. So they serve in their leadership roles for 3 years. After that, they rotate out of them, barring exceptional circumstances. So what are the exceptional circumstances involving Judge Beverly Cannoni? I have to know. I'm really, really curious to know what are exactly the exceptional circumstances where Judge Beverly Cannoni would be presiding over the case that should never have went to trial in the first place, where everything that she has done as far as decisions go, from pre-trial through trial and then post-trial, pre-retrial, I guess, she has never, she has barely ever once made a decision in the interest of justice, which is exactly what her job is to do. So it's very strange to me. What are the exceptional circumstances exactly? The fact that they need a corrupt judge sitting on the bench? Is that? Because, you can't get, if you want to go through with framing an innocent woman and protecting people with the kind of pool in Norfolk County that the Alberts and the McCabe's have, well then, you can't get a legitimate judge to preside over this case. You need to get somebody who's going to make sure things go the way they're supposed to go. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm saying it because it's the only fucking thing that makes sense. Tell me I'm wrong. It's the only thing that makes any sense anymore. How many times have we sat there and not only ourselves reacted this way, but watched law tubers react this way? From Melanie Little to Emily Baker to Andrea Burkhart, going, why the fuck would she rule that like that? How could this even go to trial? And I've seen this happen over and over and over again, which validates me, who doesn't know anything about the law except for what I see and what I hear, and I absorb as much of it as I can, but still, somebody like me, when you're hearing attorneys, they're scratching their heads and going, wait, what? At everything this woman does. And I'm referring to Judge Beverly Cannoni. What's up, Dr. Edward Moskowitz? Or Mrs. Dr. Edward Moskowitz, I should say. It's good to see you. There's not anything about this that seems legitimate to me. Nothing about it. Because this is the kind of wording that at one point would have been sufficient for me. I'm reading it on the news. I'm hearing, elected and appointed officials say things like, barring exceptional circumstances. And I go, oh, okay, barring exceptional circumstances. For that reason, several administrative justices. Okay, got it. Sure. But the problem is it's this case. So when I hear barring exceptional circumstances, the first thing that comes to my mind is, what the fuck are these exceptional circumstances exactly? I'd like those on paper. I want to know exactly what those exceptional circumstances are when it comes to Judge Beverly Cannoni presiding over this case. I've been corrected on that a couple of times already. Presiding over this case. I mean, Reed is accused of killing. Yeah, we don't give a shit about any of that. Okay. Now, that doesn't exactly change this little development here. No, what the hell just happened? Yeah, this is where we're at as far as police go. This is where we're at. Since the trial, this is what's happened. Michael Proctor has been suspended without pay, with an IA investigation remains open. He's a state police officer. He's a statey. Yuri Buchanan, also known as Bukaki. Loss of 5 vacation days. Hold on a second. Let me do this. Make that bigger. Loss of 5 vacation days. Okay. Also state police. Tully, IA investigation open. Transitioned out of Norfolk County DA's office. Out of the Norfolk County DA's office leadership position. So there's no Tully anymore, which also means that there's no sources for Plevin and Krusty Panties anymore. Fanning, unfounded, no discipline yet. Now, the thing about Fanning, though, is, folks, let's talk about Fanning for a second. Fanning is just a matter of time. Okay. Fanning is just a matter of time, because the thing is we've seen more from the feds in the Sandra Birchmore case than we have in the Karen Reed case, have we not? I think that's fair to say. They arrested Matthew Farwell for murdering Sandra Birchmore. Sandra Birchmore is finally on the road to actually getting justice. Sandra Birchmore and Josh Levy's indictment and arrest of Matthew Farwell, for me, was a rejuvenating experience. When I was doubting, well, I wouldn't say doubting, but sort of questioning my faith in Josh Levy and the feds, they make this arrest. And I'm so glad that it happened, because the family of Sandra Birchmore has been waiting a long time for it. Now, Karen Reed and her family have been waiting a long time too, but they've been waiting so long. So to see them do this, to see Josh Levy hold this press conference, and it was a cool press conference, because what I loved about it, I've covered so many press conferences on this channel, and almost always they sound like they're accepting an award. They give you a whole nothing burger, a whole lot of nothing, and then they act like we want to thank this person and this person for all your hard work, and we wouldn't be able to do it without this person and this person and this person. And it's really irritating. And I know Melanie Little knows what I'm talking about. It happens constantly. But this time, they named a couple of people, got through it quick, but focused focused on sending the message that witnesses will not be, it will not be tolerated to try to silence witnesses. That was the message they were trying to send. That was the message they were focused on. They weren't focused on you're not going to hurt girls and they touched on that, but they were like, you're not going to destroy the trust of a young kid who comes in and then you're going to exploit that trust. That's not what their focus and their energy was pointed at. They were talking about witnesses being silenced. And I felt like that had to have been directed somewhere else. So my faith in Josh Levy is rejuvenated. Now, the reason why I brought this up was because Fanning is mentioned in this little thing here. Thank you, Sherry Lee, for becoming a member. I appreciate it. And Fanning, if you remember in that press conference, all the questions were just centered around how the hell did it get to this point? How the hell did it get ruled a suicide in the first place? What's being done to find out about that? So that was a clear indication to Josh Levy, and I'm sure, and I give him the benefit of the doubt that he's already on that, but that was a clear indication to Josh Levy, in case he wasn't, that the people demand to know why this was ruled a suicide in the first place. And that is where we circle back to Fanning right here. And so when Fanning, when they investigate this is when we're going to see results happening with Fanning. I think we're going to see quicker results happening with Fanning than anybody else here. I think Fanning, if I had to pick which of these are going to be the first ones to get charged with something, it's Fanning. If I had to pick, if I'm predicting the U.S. Attorney's Office's actions right now, just for fun, I'm going with Fanning. My money's on Fanning being the next one, just because he was so involved in the Sandra Birchmore investigation, and the Sandra Birchmore investigation was a sham. And we know it. And then you've got Kevin Albert here mentioned, suspended for 3 days, returned to work after paid leave during independent investigation. And Higgins, no comment or on discipline nor investigation. Now, when you look at that in hindsight, all of these things put together, you've got a suspension without pay, and that's just Proctor right there. So Bukaki loses 5 days vacation. Tully gets rehomed. Fanning, nothing happens as of yet. Kevin Albert from Canton PD gets suspended for 3 days and goes right back to work. And he's paid for those 3 days, by the way. And Higgins, no comment or discipline or investigation. And the Higgins thing is going to be interesting because we're going to talk a little bit something about that. But in hindsight, folks, all of these names here, folks, is a big fat fucking nothing. It's jack shit. What it is a fucking pacifier. That's all it is. It's so the right people can get the right votes because it's right around an election. That's all that is.
I think we got a super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat.
William Lafferty, thank you. If you haven't seen Dr. Grande's latest Karen Reed video, it sounds like the Commonwealth wrote the entire script for him. I love it. I was actually thinking about going over that tonight, so we might just do that. Dude, Drago, you're killing me, buddy. He's still like, now he wants to get back. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, guys. If I would have been able to grab him, like he's hiding somewhere. So if I would have been able to grab him, I would have just ran him up into my bedroom, but I couldn't. So I'm just gonna worry about him later. He's fine. There's nothing that he can't get out anywhere, so he's good. But yeah, I was thinking about actually going over that video. I don't think I've ever watched that guy. I'm not sure if I have or not. And thank you so much, William Lafferty. Now, yeah, I'm absolutely and totally of the opinion at this point right now where none of this has anything to do. I'm just not ready to get my hopes up that any of these actions that are being taken are to actually start it. I don't see any of this stuff as a first step towards positive change. It's not enough. It's not enough. People need to be charged with crimes here. That's what it boils down to. Someone needs to be charged with a crime. And Michael Morrissey is absolutely the top of that list. I mean, just simply for the Betterow letters and what's in them. If Mark Betterow, which I have no reason to doubt, I mean, if he filed these things, then I believe that they can absolutely prove that there was collusion to frame Turtle Boy and lock him up. And I mean, this is going to be, yeah, this is just one thing after the other. But it's a whole lot of nothing. You know what I mean? Like I was right there with you guys. I was all stoked and I was hyped about all of the cool stuff that was happening over the weekend. And then I thought about it today, you know, and then I was like, not really. You know, what the fuck are we celebrating? You're looking at that list right there is all you need to know. And then you've got Higgins, where to me, this is way more damning. Now, to me, this is way more damning than anything that they even think they have on Karen Reed. I mean, this tells you everything you need to know. So big shout out to Microdots. Let me here's the link to this. If you please take a second and click on that and give it a like, please, because Microdots is amazing. And make sure to subscribe to him if you're not already. Now, this is footage from the waterfall. Okay. He went over some of this before. We went over some of this. Whenever Microdots does a new video, I like to go over it if I can. But this is amazing because the last video showed, and they even showed that footage on Dateline, which I found interesting. They showed that footage on Dateline that where Chris Albert seemed to have been, you know, just a hair away from physically restraining Brian Higgins.
It's 11:30 at the Waterfall bar. The man at the center of your screen is one Brian Higgins. The surveillance camera detects the infrared light emitted by his iPhone's True Depth camera, which is used for Face ID. This is Officer John O'Keefe. He would be nearly dead in under an hour, sustaining fatal injuries that the most credentialed experts determined were not from a vehicle. Across the table is Karen Reed. She is the girlfriend of John O'Keefe, and also the woman that Brian Higgins has been obsessed with for weeks up until this point. However, she's been ignoring him, and he wants to know where they stand.
Thank you, Justice for Truth.
Both Brian Higgins and Brian Albert have been drinking all day long. Higgins keeps looking at Karen Reed, and at 11:32 he can't take it anymore. He gives in.
Yeah, Microdot's has a great. Sorry, I have to tell this story. Microdots has a great voice. Everybody's like, "Oh, Microdots' voice is just so." So we all went to dinner when I was in Boston. I got to meet Microdots, and he's a really, really, really cool guy. Like how you would imagine him being as a person. Like he really is. But what's really funny about Microdots is like, you know, he was speaking to us. Clever, stop it. He was speaking to us, and somebody was like, "Well, wait a minute, that's not your English accent on the on the videos." And he's like, "Man, you know how long I practiced to get that English accent just right, just for those." Obviously, he's joking, but it was just really funny. Yeah, dude is a creative genius. He's fantastic.
Into temptation. He removes his phone from his pocket and sends her a text message. In his whiskey-fueled, intoxicated state, he types out, well, and presses send. It doesn't matter that John O'Keefe is standing right there.
I can't hear that shit without laughing, dude. The well, Justice Microdot's is the best. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I can't dude, that dude has the worst game of all time. Dude, just be yourself, man. You know what I mean? Just relax. Jesus fucking Christ. She came to you. You know? She came to you. Just relax. The fuck is this? Oh, I don't know. I can hear his frumpiness in text. How do you hear a fucking man's frumpiness in text? And hold on, we got to take a little break from this for a second because somebody did this, and I'm really mad at them for it. Not really, but I am, but not really. Hold on. All right, hold on. Somebody did this, okay? And they and somebody put but they'll put, when you trust the fart and immediately know you shouldn't have, right? And this is that Beth person. Somebody called her Mega Beth. Oh my god, dude. And then look, this person, Pamela Jane, writes, "I swear to God, this is Brian Higgins in drag, and I lost my shit, dude. I could not fucking take it." She said, "I swear this is Brian Higgins in drag." Look. Just drink that shit in. Oh my god, bro. I am so mad at this Pamela Jane person. I'm so mad at you, Pamela Jane, because I got all the laughter out of it. It's still very funny. But the belly laughing that happened already. That happened already. A lot. When somebody called her Mega Beth, dude, I lost my shit. I was like, oh god. Oh my god, dude. All right, so I just had to take that little detour for a second, share that with you guys because it's too much. Justice is true. Thank you. I hope the Karen Reed defense follows Microdots. Yeah. Well, Karen Reed defense, yes. I'm glad you said that. Yeah. You must be you're a little late to the party. But yeah, they know about Microdots. Defense knows about Microdots. Yeah. Hold on. Let me get let's go back to his video real quick. All right. That was a weird detour because Microdot's videos are so serious.
A few feet away from him, Higgins is determined to get some kind of reaction from the woman he desires, whatever the consequences may be.
Look how thirsty
From
this
this point
motherfucker is.
forward, Higgins can be seen frequently checking his phone, presumably awaiting Karen's response. But that response would never come, surely adding to his humiliation and anger. You all remember this short video we released last week showing Chris forcibly grabbing Higgins by the arm.
Chris
I played it
Albert.
over and over.
Chris Albert, Brian Albert's brother, Canton Selectman, who we watched on video threaten to beat Turtle Boy's face up and down the sidewalk.
And over again, trying to determine what exactly is happening. One thing is clear. These three men have prior knowledge of something related to John O'Keefe's future. I wanted to see John's reaction to the Bryans taunting more clearly.
Now that's what's going on. Hold on, let me get my...
He comments, then
picture out of
gestures,
here. Hold on.
referring to the exchange. In 3, 2, 1.
Hold on.
Rightly is happening. One thing is clear. These three men have prior knowledge of something related to John O'Keefe's future. I wanted to see John's reaction to the Bryans taunting more clearly.
I mean, look at that. He's like, what the fuck is with this guy? Is he fucking serious?
He comments, then gestures, referring to the exchange. In 3, 2, 1. And then is called by the bartender to sign the check.
Oh, shit,
But
dude.
if Chris and the Bryans had prior
Oh,
knowledge, when did they discuss it? To try to find the answer to that question, I went back to look again. And 10 minutes earlier, this happened. The three men's body language changes. They speak closely and glance towards John and Karen, smirking.
Dude, why the fuck wasn't this brought up in trial?
Then moving closer, discussing something privately.
Jesus, dude. Dude, if you don't get shivers when you watch Microdots' videos, you don't have a soul. It's like, seriously, you don't have a fucking soul. That shit is insane. Now, I want to talk a little bit about I'm gonna have to now. I want to give a shout out now. I don't want. It's not really a shout out, but I want to say that and acknowledge that it was a nice gesture of Sue O'Connell today, based on what Esty was saying on Resist to Silence about how Sue O'Connell was really kind and whatever, right? And I've been going at it pretty hard on Sue O'Connell, man, and I still feel justified in doing so because I haven't gotten an answer to my question. Anyway, now Turtle Boy posted this, and I want to read it because he tagged Sue O'Connell in it. And he says, I have to disagree with Sue O'Connell here. Now, wait a second. What is... Oh, yeah, because here's her. John O'Keefe had done nothing wrong and wound up dead. I guess this is a quote from Dateline. John O'Keefe had done nothing wrong and wound up dead. And on a regular basis, he was just left out of this conversation. NBC 10 Boston commentator Sue O'Connell said in the episode, and Karen would arrive and people had pom-poms. They would cheer her on. I mean, she fucking said that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I get that her thing is, oh, well, she said it on Twitter, and she said it apparently to Esty today when she spoke to her, that she that it was 3 hours long and they just kind of cut and used whatever they wanted. But the problem is, I mean, and they do that. That's true. But the problem is, I mean, I don't see how you cut that to mean something that it doesn't mean. You know what I mean? Like, that's John O'Keefe had done nothing wrong and wound up dead. And on a regular basis, he was just left out of this conversation. NBC 10 Boston commentator Sue O'Connell said in the episode, that's a quote. And Karen would arrive and people had pom-poms. They would cheer her on. Justice for Justice is Truth. Excuse me. Sue O'Connell is in her delusional media headset. Yeah, I mean, it's sorry. I hate to keep going at her, but and oh my goodness, Kat Randall gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. So it was hard to read that font. Oh my goodness. Well, the thing is, as far as I'm concerned with Sue O'Connell, man, I met Sue O'Connell. She was nice. You know what I'm saying? I met her twice. I met her inside the courtroom once. It came back to me. I met her inside the courtroom once. And then I met her outside, and she was hanging out with the blonde woman who's the reporter. I forget her name. And they were right by the van. And it was Paul Cristoforo who introduced me to her that second time. And both times she was very nice, so I didn't, you know what I mean? I don't have anything personal against her, but it's like, it's the backpedaling that I just can't fucking get past, and it's really irritating. Like when somebody she's a Canton resident, and B, she's a Canton resident, and B, she's a news commentator. And she's commentating, but then she backpedals what she comments. She says one thing on Dateline, backpedals it on Twitter. And so I want to read Turtle Boy's response to that. Sue O'Connell might be nice, but traditional mainstream media is clueless. That's why we go to the YouTube and other places. Right. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Former Canton resident, I believe, but she said she was a Canton resident for 10 years. Maybe she didn't specify currently or before, or I didn't catch it, but she said it on that episode of Canton Confidential. Thank you, Olivia. And thank you again. Justice is Truth. Appreciate you. So I'm going to read Aiden's response to that comment that she made. He says, I have to disagree with Sue O'Connell here. One, John O'Keefe has never been left out of the conversation. He is all over our signs outside the court where we have been demanding justice for him since April of 2023. Two, there is not justice for John O'Keefe without justice for Karen Reed. Convicting Karen Reed means that people who murdered him will walk free. It means the DA's office and state police who covered up his murder could get away with their crimes. The prosecution of Karen Reed is just a way for them to avoid arresting the people who murdered John. Exactly. Joseph Kane gifted a membership. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate you. Now, he's only made 2 points here so far. He's only made 2 points, and they're already more than enough. 3, a Ford Edge was seen at 3:30 a.m. parked directly next to the spot where John O'Keefe's body was found 2.5 hours later. To this day, the police have done nothing to find the driver of that vehicle. Free Care and Reach protesters are the ones who want an investigation into who was driving that car. The Justice for JJ frauds want the police not to follow up on that lead, and they've gotten their wish. 4, the pom-poms cheering Karen on are because she is fighting for more than just her life. We cheer her on because she is the public face exposing corruption and the only person who seems to give a damn about finding out who killed John O'Keefe. Her team almost single-handedly solved this case on their own prior to my involvement. We cheer her on because we want justice for John O'Keefe. Now, this is a very important statement, a very important segment of this tweet from Turtle Boy here, because I've made this point several times as well. I've said it many times. I'm going to keep saying it. Right now, Karen Reed is the only one who's actively doing anything to fight for justice for John O'Keefe. She's the one actually in the crossfire for it. She's the one that's paying through the nose to get the truth out there in open court. She doesn't have to do that. She could absolutely just go the route of, they did a terrible job framing me. There's too much reasonable doubt, and we'll just go with reasonable doubt. We'll stress that in closing arguments and say, jury, everything in this case, there's a way to doubt it. There's reason to doubt it. I could take any piece of evidence that the prosecution has fed to you here, and I could poke holes in it all day. Doesn't matter what it is. Take anything. Pick any fucking piece of evidence out of a hat. But they didn't do that. They went the extra mile, and they went the third-party culprit defense. That tells me that Karen Reed is actively in the fight for justice for John O'Keefe. Not just justice for herself, not just to be exonerated, not just to walk away from this and put it behind her, but to actually get justice for her fallen Boston police officer boyfriend, who we know she cared for very, very deeply based on the text messages that Melanie Little and I read. So you're not going to sit here and fucking convince me that that shit that proves that she cared about him is motive to kill him? You're out of your fucking mind. That makes no sense. It's the stupidest thing in the world. It's the most gaslighting attempt. It's a pathetic attempt at gaslighting, because there's thousands of people now that are like, what? Are you kidding right now? You're trying to convince me that that's what that means when I know it's clear what it means? Crazy to me, dude. Then Aiden goes on to make point 5, which is, if a proper investigation was done and Brian Albert's house was searched, then the police would have been able to arrest the people who murdered John O'Keefe within hours. Absolutely. If they had done that, then we would all be able to concentrate our efforts solely on justice for John O'Keefe, just like we did for Michael Chestnut. But instead, they arrested an innocent woman, which took the focus off of John. If you think the focus isn't on John O'Keefe, then blame the Commonwealth. I've said that too. I've made that point as well, because you've got to, anybody with common sense has made this point. And this is what bothers me about Sue O'Connell, that it takes Turtle Boy to have to write this long tweet to remind her that this is the case. You want to point fingers at us because John O'Keefe's name is supposedly lost out there. No. They're framing an innocent woman, and the evidence is overwhelming, and you're trying to make us out to be the bad guys because we're just not letting sleeping dogs lie? Is that it? Because we're just not leaving well enough alone? Fuck it. Dude, listen to me, man. And fuck it. I'll say it. And I think I've said this before too. Because people are like, now look at Karen Reed putting up all this stink Now there's going to be other people who are actually guilty too, who are going to walk free. And that's Karen Reed's fault and her defense team's fault. That Brian Walsh could walk free because Michael Proctor was the lead investigator. Dumb shit like that. And that's ridiculous. That's just dumb. But I'll tell you this. What I was going to say before, which is, so be it. That's not on anybody but the Commonwealth. If Brian Walsh walks free, that's on the Commonwealth. If guilty people walk free, that's on the Commonwealth for employing dirty fucks to investigate these crimes. It's just that simple. I'm not going to be gaslit into being blamed for talking about what has been exposed to me in front of my own fucking eyes. I'm not going to let that happen. You're not going to do that to me. I know what it's like to be crazy. This ain't it. This ain't it. So you're not going to sit here and make me out to be like I'm imagining this shit when I'm seeing it on paper. And then I have something to compare it to, which is the Brian Walsh investigation and Michael Proctor's reports and requests for a warrant. Dude, he did everything. He dotted every I and crossed every T. Every I, every T.
I think we got a super cat. Super fan. I think we got a super cat. Super fan. Super cat. Super fan. 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 I think we got a super cat. I think we got a super cat.
Cynthia 1880, thank you so much. Wow, it was really generous. Appreciate you. Yeah, pristine investigation like magic. Exactly, Olivia Nile. Exactly. Imagine that. The polar fucking opposite of how the murder of John O'Keefe's investigation was conducted. Why? What is the common denominator? Well, not the common denominator. That's the wrong term to use in this. But what is the main issue here? The house. 34 Fairview. The house. They didn't question anybody. They didn't knock on the door to see if everybody was okay. Who does that? You got a cop who's practically dead on the front lawn, and you don't knock on the door to do a check to see if everybody's okay? With your hand on your weapon and basically demand to do a walkthrough? I've never heard of this not even being a thing. That's the craziest shit to me. And nobody's acting like this is abnormal. There's people acting like this isn't abnormal. You trying to dig to China, homie? What are you doing? Yeah. You've got this shoddy ass investigation, and all of it screams that they were trying to avoid 34 Fairview. Anything to not look towards 34 Fairview. Exactly as Alan Jackson said, look over here, don't look over here. It is the theme of this investigation. And that equals frame up. Look over here, don't look over here. That equals frame up. That is absolutely railroading. And now Turtle Boy and his team, the Killer Bees, can fucking prove that these people are dirty. That Michael Morrissey's office is corrupt. He could prove it. And how? Why can he prove it? Because they arrested him. If they would have just left this motherfucker alone, he wouldn't even have what he has. Like, I cannot marvel at that enough. Like, I just can't. I can't marvel at that shit enough. I sit there and then that thought comes to my mind where I'm just like, we would not even be here. And these walls, the foundation of this shit would not be crumbling if they had just left Turtle Boy the fuck alone in the first place and let him do his job. My mind just goes. It's insane to me, dude. This whole fucking thing is insane to me. Now let's go over. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's so funny because, like, you know how you can tell the truth? It's just when so many people are just saying the same shit. So many, like, intelligent, common sense people, along with educated people, are all saying the same shit and making the same crucial points when it comes to the John O'Keefe, Karen Reed situation. What you doing, buddy? Sorry, I'm just in love with this little cat, dude. I can't even with everybody saying the same shit, and it's like, and then you've got Judge Beverly Cannoni just doing everything the opposite that common sense dictates, which it's like, you know, she has common sense. She's just dirty. She's just fucking dirty. I don't even care anymore. I'll just say it. Oh shit. Sorry, that just popped up right here. I got to show that again. That's the very first time that Clover and Drago came face to face. Yeah, how cool that is. All right. Justice is truth. Thank you so much. Aside from all the crazy shit in mass, it happens all across the country. I'm just realizing that we need to stop the corruption as a movement. Think about all the innocent people that have nobody to fight for them. Exactly. Right. This is important. I mean, if it means like one guilty person who slipped by because dirty people got caught, then fuck it. If it means that they fix the problem and solve the corruption, I mean, you're not going to sit here and make me feel like it's crazy and wrong that people demand that their law enforcement and their elected and appointed officials behave in an ethical manner. Like, there's nothing you're going to tell me that's going to make that seem like it's insane to demand that for people on a mass level to locally just demand that shit. Let's check out this dude real quick. Oh, yeah. Okay, who is this dude? Let's see. This is only 17 minutes, so, and I'll probably pause it a lot, but so this is Dr. Grande. Here's his video. Just give it a like. I'm streaming it. I don't know anything about it, but I feel bad streaming it if he's, you know, a cool dude. So just make sure to like click on the link I just dropped and give it a like. Tim Bell, thank you so much. Dirty as they come and started way back. Right. Yeah, I mean, this is something that's been going on for a long time, and it's nothing wrong with people saying enough is enough. You're not going to sit here and try to make me feel like that's wrong.
Hello, Dr. Grande here. Today I'll be updating the case of Karen Reed. This is a controversial case involving a collision that may have occurred during a snowstorm in Massachusetts in 2022. This case has attracted a lot of attention from the media, and there's a lot of people who have strong feelings about what's going on in this situation. First, I'll look at the background of the case of Karen Reed, move to the timeline of the alleged crime, then offer my analysis. Karen Reed was born in 1980 and grew up in Taunton, Massachusetts, which is about an hour south of Boston. After graduating from high school, she attended Bentley University. In 2001, she earned a bachelor's degree in finance.
Stop it.
She would later earn
A lot of
her
people
master's degree and PhD.
A lot of people like this guy. Let's give him a chance here, man. Let's give him a chance.
In finance from the same school. Karen lived in Mansfield and worked as a financial analyst and as an adjunct professor. Sometime around 2020, Karen became romantically involved with a man named John O'Keefe. They reconnected after having dated when they were in their 20s. John had a master's degree in criminal justice and worked as a police officer for the Boston Police Department since 2006. Karen spent most nights in John's house in Canton, Massachusetts, which is about 20 minutes north of her residence in Mansfield. The relationship between Karen and John was tumultuous. Now moving to the timeline.
I mean, was it though?
On Saturday, January 29, 2022, at 6:04 a.m., the police received a 911 call reporting that John O'Keefe had been found in the snow. He was near a house at 34 Fairview Road in Canton, Massachusetts, which was owned by a police officer named Brian Albert.
You think I'm going to put Joe's head on this?
There was heavy snow,
mistake,
and the temperature was in the teens. Emergency responders arrived at the scene. They encountered 4 people: John O'Keefe, Karen Reed, Jennifer McCabe, and Carrie Roberts. John was on the ground. He was cold to the touch and not breathing. He was transported to a hospital where the staff determined he was deceased. His cause of death was blunt force trauma to his head. Hypothermia also contributed. Here's what the police found during the course of their investigation.
So far, he's not saying anything inaccurate, really. I mean, give him a break. Let's play this out. This is only 17 minutes.
January 28, the day before John's body was discovered in the snow, he and Karen stopped by 2 bars across the street from one another.
I mean, but I don't need the history, though.
When they were at the second bar and put his head through a little bit, but that's all she saw. She expected John to return to Brian Albert's house, where John was unresponsive in the snow outside. Jennifer called 911 at 6:04 a.m. In the snow around John's body, investigators found red and clear plastic consistent with a broken vehicle taillight. When they examined Karen's black 2021 Lexus LX 570 SUV, they noticed that the rear passenger taillight was broken. The police believe that Karen backed her Lexus into John, and this led to his death. On February 1, 2022, Karen was arrested in connection with John's death. On June 10 of that same year, she was indicted for second-degree murder, manslaughter while operating under the influence of, acknowledging that she dropped John off at Brian's house. She was trying to distance herself from John's movements. Karen eventually admitted that she dropped John off at the Fairview Road house, but 11 witnesses at the party said that John never entered the house. Not a single witness had a different story. Investigators discovered that the rear passenger side taillight of Karen's Lexus was broken, and pieces consistent with this taillight were found near John's body. Data from her Lexus indicated that Karen drove in reverse at 24 miles per hour. Drivers typically do not exceed around 5 to 7 miles per hour in reverse. Her 5,800-pound vehicle suddenly slowed down. This was before she contacted Karen. However, an expert for the state said the browser was opened at 2:27 a.m. The search actually occurred at 6:20 a.m. Jennifer said that Karen asked her to make the search. Now moving to the exculpatory factors. There were no witnesses to John's death, no video. He could have been hit by another.
That's enough out of you, Dr. Grande. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, you failed, my friend. You failed. Hold on. Wait a second. I think what you guys need. I know exactly what you guys need.
And his name is John C.
Everybody awake again? Everybody awake again? I'm sorry, Dr. Grande. No hard feelings, man. It's just a different crowd. That's all. I mean, he wasn't saying nothing bad, really. It was just like I thought he was going to say something that I hadn't heard yet, and he didn't. So yeah, that's it. As far as he's concerned. So what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Let me do this. Yeah, I mean, the dude made a 17-minute video to catch everybody up on this shit. Like, I thought he was going over something new, and he didn't. I just found myself just being like,
What the fuck are you talking about?
exactly. And I had no choice.
Get the fuck out!
Okay, hold on here. All right. Phone lines are open, folks. If anybody wants to call in, usually takes a minute. Wow, y'all are brutal, man. Y'all are talking about y'all are brutal.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Will, it's Gina from Canton. How you doing?
Gina from Canton. How are you?
Oh, I am dandy.
You dandy?
What the F
What the?
is up with Dr. Grande?
Oh, I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God, who is he?
He's got his own style, man. You know. Oh shit. What's up, Nurse Kim? It's good to see you.
Nurse Kim in the chat.
Yeah. Let me get her.
Love Nurse Kim. She's awesome, isn't she?
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Dr. Grande, why'd you show that clip? Like,
well, people ask me.
douche.
People ask me if I'd seen it, and you know, I like to react to things, but that one didn't even merit a reaction. Really, it was okay. So
no, it's just like
right.
crapola, right?
Crapola.
Yeah. Did you watch Canton Select Board meeting tonight?
I did not. Was there anything interesting that happened?
Oh my God, just a big troll at the public comment. Oh my God, it was disgusting. Just made me want to vomit. Threw up in my mouth, you know. It really is disgusting. So you know what's happening tomorrow, right?
Yeah, the ducky, the great ducky caper trial is happening.
Yeah.
I'll be streaming it.
You're gonna be streaming it? I think I'm
will.
gonna go to it. I think I'm gonna go to it because I gotta go up to the courthouse for something else anyways. And so I think I'm just gonna pop in and see it. I might drop a few ducks too. I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna take the next call. Thanks for calling, Gina.
All right. Well,
we love you.
Have a good night. Thanks, man.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Oh shit! I missed him. Oh well. I love my callers, man. People in my chat were like, or in my comments were like, why were you so mean to that Nick Friolo guy? Like, dude, if you knew, then if you know, you know.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is Laura.
Hi, Laura.
How are you, Will?
I'm doing great. You might want to turn my show back down in the background there.
Just got it. Thank you.
No problem.
Congratulations on the new kitty.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God, like he's so great.
Right? I'm a cat lady. I have a dog and 3 cats, and they all snuggle. They love each other. it's the best thing for mental health. It's awesome.
I mean, yeah, my dog turned out to be like the best thing that I ever did for my mental health. And now putting the two of them together is like right now my mental health. Like I'm beaming. I feel like the mental health equivalent to Superman. Like I'm getting power from the yellow
Right?
sun and I can do anything. Yes, that's how totally I feel right now because of these
I agree
animals.
with you. 100%. What is going on with Morrissey and Mello? Have they been officially disciplined?
Not yet.
I saw.
Not yet. I mean, we need a response from Mello. Right now, they're trying to decide what they're going to do, how they're going to handle it. But they just got bombarded with those Bettero letters, and so now they got to figure out what they're going to do. But so Mello's got to decide that he, whether or not he's going to recuse himself. But they're like, we're calling you to the stand, dude. Like we have evidence. We're calling you to the stand. So Mello is I get giddy every time I think about it. I get giddy every time I think about it. Amazing. Bettero's amazing.
He is. He's the best. Absolute best. You guys are all awesome. I love listening. I love chatting with you all.
Well, you're
all
awesome.
Very informative and fun, and it's great. So that's all. I wasn't sure. I saw something about them being disciplined, but I don't know what I saw, so I was just curious. All right. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks, Laura. Appreciate you.
Talk to you. Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome, Nurse Kim. Yeah, I always let creators I respect have wrenches in my chat.
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Call from.
Kate.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Hey, I've been listening to your show. I guess it's been almost a year now since I was introduced to this case, actually by an ex-boyfriend. So the best thing that came out of that relationship was me learning about the Karen Reed trial, and I've been completely just following every piece of it. And I just wanted to say thank you for showing up and showing out and just being an example of what people should treat each other like in this world, because everything that's been going on with this case has just been so crazy. And the fact that you've brought so many different people together that think differently or with different walks of life that have come together to support Karen is just really amazing. So I just wanted to say
I think Aiden and the locals get credit for that. And I don't know so much about following an example of how to treat people, because if you follow me on Twitter, man, I kind of let people have it and I don't hold back. So
I do too, but that's Twitter and it's different.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. It's like the gloves come off on Twitter for some reason.
Hey. But I just really like your show, and I really enjoy all the people that call in and everything, just because I'm disabled. I live far away from home. Home is Massachusetts, and I'm in Florida. And it just kind of gives me a little piece of home here, down here. So I just wanted to say thanks. And I also wanted to just ask what you thought of the fact that because my theory is that they had to deal with the Sandra Birchmore case prior to dealing with the Karen Reed case, because the Sandra case came up before Karen's case did. So I didn't know if that might be part of why the FBI is doing things in the manner that they are.
Well, I mean, they probably just gathered enough evidence to charge Matthew Farwell, and they're still gathering evidence to charge others. I mean, I would assume that would be the case.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. You guys have a great night.
You too. Thanks for calling. I appreciate you.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Call from
Helen.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
This is Helen. How are you?
Hi, Helen. I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh my God. I can't believe I'm on it.
You are.
You are the son-in-law my mother always wanted. And you know who I am.
No, I'm not. Just so you know. No, I'm not.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I'm just sad about all this stuff, to be honest with you. I've been following Photo Boy, oh my goodness, since 2000, when he began. And I bet state police has I send him kind of little things. So I bet they have my name on it there. But
Okay.
I believe Karen Reed is being framed, and I'm so disgusted believing in Massachusetts. I'm from Brazil, and I'm so disgusted how this state became. I've been living here for 22 years. How this state became so corrupt, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I am so sad.
It defeats the purpose of moving to America, doesn't it? Doesn't it defeat the purpose of moving to America? Like you come here and you're like, okay, I love all the history. I love the idea of democracy and independence and all that great stuff that America has to offer. And
yes, and I'm so sad. And now I moved to the farm in Massachusetts, believe it or not. I live like 3 miles away from New York border. And but in this county, in the Berkshire County, knows about Karen Reed. How sad is that?
Yeah.
Everyone I talk to, nobody knows about this case is going on, and they go, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
And then, of course, I'm golfing, and I have a big mouth, and I was golfing with a woman that I have no idea she was running for a state representative. Like, what do you say? Representative? Oh, I don't even know the word come out. Yes.
Okay.
And she look at me and she goes, "I believe Karen Reed is guilty." And I go, "Oh, okay. You don't have my vote."
Based on what? The news?
On the news.
Right.
Because only the things that she sees it.
That's right.
And I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I go, "Do you realize the FBI is investigating those fucking douchebags?"
Yeah.
She goes, "I never heard of that."
All you got to do is
maybe you should investigate it.
All you got to do is just send them the sleuthy goosey spreadsheet. That's it. I mean, that has everything you need. It's about
and guess what? She never golf with me again.
Wow.
Yes. It's sad that this part of the Massachusetts unfortunately doesn't know about her case, and I'm very upset, and I'm so into it. You can ask me anything about the case. I'm deep to it, like deep inside.
Oh, I feel you. Yeah.
I am like, I'm disgusted.
I
and
mean,
my husband goes, "Helen, can you shut up for a second?
2,200 people here that'll agree with you on that. Yeah, and feel the same way.
It's so sad. But Will, you're the son-in-law my mother always wanted.
I don't think so, but I'm sure you're the daughter-in-law my mom always wanted. So thank you, Helen. Thank you.
I don't know. I'm kind of crazy. Will. I don't know if she wants it.
You're Brazilian. Yeah. I mean, it's not any kind of crazy I'm not already used to. So, all right, Helen, have a good one.
I'm sorry that you too. I'm sorry if I was speaking too fast and you guys.
No, you're fine. No, it was great. Thank you for calling.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
She was great.
Call from
Linda.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Will. This is Linda.
Hi, Linda.
How are you tonight?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to just make a comment. You know the microdots video you were showing. with
No,
them
I
in
don't.
the
I'm
waterfall
just kidding.
bar.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, I know you know. They did show that at the trial, but you know what it was? It was early on
Well, no, I
in
know
the
that.
beginning.
That's what I'm saying is they didn't show the footage of Chris Albert holding him back while Chris Albert was on the stand. They should have asked.
That's what I was just going
Right.
to say. That's what I was going to say. And it was grainy. You couldn't see it as well, and with what he had done, I mean, it's just so obvious that they had something planned to beat John up. It's just obvious.
What it sure looks like, doesn't
The
it?
body language.
Yeah, I mean, it sure looks like it, doesn't it? I mean, you kind of have to see what was said, but it's interesting to see John's reaction, and John was just taunting him, is what it looked like.
Oh, John knew what was going on. He knew
Right.
what was going
And I
down.
think that's why he went over there.
I think that's why too.
Yeah, I mean, that's and then he just got ambushed. That's what I think happened.
Yeah. And I'm just over the weekend I was real excited and everything when I heard about, when I read Howie Carr's article, that
That's a
about
great article.
Judge Bev was not going to be at the next trial. And then, I was very disappointed that, when I heard later that, oh, now she is. But who knows what could happen between now and then. You know what? It's just unbelievable, all the corruption. I'm sure all over. I'm sure it's not just in Canton. I'm sure it's all over. And it's just a shame, like what you were saying earlier about our country, America, where, justice, the justice system, and all the corruption and the crooked cops.
Right. Our justice system is literally designed to protect your rights, to protect your basic human rights. Like, so it's crazy to me that this is flying in anywhere in this country. It's insane to me, especially in the birthplace of our country, basically.
Yes.
Like, it's wild.
But you know what? The last several years, if you look around, I'm not going to go into it because I know it's not a political, but everything that has happened you can't trust me personally. I won't speak for anyone else. I feel I can't trust my government. I can't trust the mainstream media.
That's a terrible place for the country to be in right now.
Yes. And most people are divided. And it's just, I figured, no wonder there's so much corruption. It's from the top down, it's like in layers and layers and layers. It's like
Maura Healey doesn't
cancer.
fool me for 1 second, man. Maura Healey doesn't fool me for 1 second, man. And I don't even think she has power. I think that she's even answering to somebody. So this, it's this whole thing is just really, really, really bad. Hopefully this brings enough attention. Hopefully Josh Levy just comes through, man. It's all on him. It's all on Josh Levy.
And exactly. That's what I keep praying for Levy. I wish he would come forward because he has, and even with the Sandra Birchmore case, something needs to be done. I mean, it just seems like it's so long. It's taken so long. I just wish that a big breakthrough would come through and that Karen wouldn't have to go through this again. They're trying to destroy her, and they're all blindsided by their hate and their greed and their corruption.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. If they get a guilty verdict, if they get a guilty verdict or, even a something that's not an acquittal, they're gonna say, and even still, if it's an acquittal, they're gonna say that the guilty person got away with it. The whole point is to deflect off of the McAlberts. The whole point of charging and trying Karen Read for the murder of Boston police officer John O'Keefe is to deflect attention away from the people that were inside 34 Fairview Road.
Oh yes, I agree 100%, and I think everything fell into place for them, because if it wasn't for Karen, then they were going to blame it on Lucky. I think they were going to try to blame it on him.
Yeah.
You know, say if Karen didn't, they didn't find out about her backing into John's car, and like it was the perfect alibi for them. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, it was great talking with you. I watch you all the time.
Right
and,
on.
You have a wonderful personality.
Oh, thanks, Linda. I appreciate it. You're amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Call from Mark.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
What's going on? Who's this?
This Sustainable Crypto. I'm going on the handle on your chat.
The what?
Sustainable Crypto is my handle.
Sustainable Crypto. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I actually wanted to talk to you a little bit about the case.
Okay.
So my first question is like, all of the theories that are coming through, has anyone thought about that John actually just stumbled in and went through the backyard into the basement and got his ass kicked in the basement?
I mean, that's the theory. The theory is that whatever happened took place in the basement. Microdots actually did a video speculating on that. But yeah, I mean, that's the theory because it was the basement floor that got ripped up and refloored, you know,
right.
So that's the theory.
I mean, I would have to, that so far seems to be the strongest case that's coming out, besides the fact that Karen couldn't have hit him.
Right. I mean, yeah, as far as Karen was concerned, because there's a basement door right near the front door. Like not far from the front door at all. So
right.
Right. So that's one of the theories is that he went in through the front door and then ended up in the basement. And then they probably most likely carried him out from the back entrance of the basement to the lawn.
All right, man. Well, I love the show, man, and thank you so much. And hey, have a great time. And you know what the BC Boys stand for? Boys entering anarchistic states before entering internal excellence.
Awesome. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Call from
Marie.
You're on, Marie.
Hello.
Yeah, how can I help you?
Hey, listen.
I'm listening.
Hello. I just want to say, well, thank you for keeping it real. Hello. Keeping it true and just speaking the truth. That's important.
Hell yeah. Appreciate that, Marie.
Yeah, no. So you could probably hear it in my voice. I live in southern New Hampshire right now, but I grew up in Mass. Okay, grew up right outside of Boston, not in Canton, but outside of Boston. And, I get the whole mass corruption stuff going on, lived there my whole life, understand it. So for me, this is not just about the Karen Reed case, it's about what really goes on and what has to change. But speaking regarding Karen Reed, I have my own thoughts about the whole thing. I believe wholeheartedly Karen Reed is innocent. She was framed. I don't believe, and I'm going to say this, I do not believe the intent was to frame her. I think it became convenient for the Alberts,
I agree.
for the McCabe's, for everyone else, right?
I agree. I think that they originally planned to blame a snowplow. Pretty much lucky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, pretty
100%.
much lucky. But then Jen McCabe reiterated to everyone, Karen thinks that she hit him. She said to me, did I hit him? Did I hit him? And then we'll just twist it and say that she said that she hit him. If she doesn't even know, if she's not even sure, then we'll just, you could build a case against her just enough, say we have this much, we have a tail light, blah, 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 we have DNA, and then she'll take a plea and then it'll all be over. But that's not what happened. they weren't counting on her to do what she did.
I'm on the same page with you. I think they planned on putting him out there, blaming it on the snow driver, and it would have been Lucky, who would have been the fall guy, right? But Karen Reed, because of what happened, they then thought, okay, well, it's convenient to blame her, but they did not count on the fact that she would not take a plea.
Yeah, they thought
she would take the plea.
They thought that it would put a bow on it. She's drunk and she's upset, and they're like, "This has got a bow on it. This is it. All we gotta do."
Yeah,
100%.
I agree.
Proctor's going to handle the investigation. He'll make sure that this is, this is what happens. They just did it all lazily and sloppily.
So, because think about it. Most people don't, there are probably so many people in prison that didn't have the means or ability to fight back, right?
Right.
She fought back. They didn't plan on that. They just were like, okay, we're just going to, do this.
I mean, they didn't count on her family
back.
either. I'm telling you, her family support system is, it's not the kind that raises someone to just back into somebody and get drunk back into somebody and take off. That's not the type of person that they raised. You know what I mean? These people are the type of people that they are to fight no matter what.
Right.
So I mean,
here's my theory. My theory is that, and this is what I believe happened. I believe that John was aware that, that there was some issues with Brian Higgins. And I think that Brian Higgins told Brian Albert. Brian Albert's just a fighting asshole. And Brian Higgins is a little more of a pussy, but he kind of looked up to Brian Albert.
Yeah. He was a Brian Albert simp.
No,
Brian Higgins is a Brian Albert simp.
Yeah, let's be real.
He wanted to impress him.
I'm a math girl.
Yeah, he had a man crush.
Girl. I get how this works.
It's a man crush.
So, yeah, absolutely. So what happened was they thought that they could bring John O'Keefe. There was this stuff going on at the waterfall and whatever, and they thought they could bring. Listen, Brian Higgins texted John O'Keefe at 12:20 and said, "Are you coming?" We have to remember that. He was prodding him to come, okay? Brian Albert was aware of what was going on. John O'Keefe was like, okay, I'm not, I'm going to deal with this with my girlfriend. Karen didn't want anything to do with it. That's why she stayed in the car. John went in the house, and then unfortunately, because of the alcohol, and I believe this, because of the alcohol, things went down. There was no intention for him to get killed, but unfortunately, he hit his head, something happened. Now we have a big mess.
See, okay? I just don't know. I don't know what happened in that house, but I feel like Brian Higgins spent his entire evening at the Waterfall Bar and Grill showing off for Brian Albert, trying to get Brian showing off for Brian Albert. Brian Albert can see this, and I would assume that Brian Albert, since this took place at his house, Chris Albert is like, hey, you don't want to do anything here, while Brian Higgins is calling him out. And then John O'Keefe is just like, yeah, come over here. And then he sends a text. He sends a text to John after Chris Albert tells him, after Chris Albert tries to say, hey, don't do that here. Don't do anything here. Brian Albert probably says, hey, we'll get him back at my house. And if you're a fucking man, you'll take care of whatever the fuck problem you got with this guy, because I'm sick of hearing you fucking bitch about this guy all night. So if you're a fucking man, then you'll deal with him and just do it at my house, and there's no fucking excuses. And then Brian Higgins texted John O'Keefe, said, are you coming? And then
because he did. He texted Karen. She did not respond. And then he texted John and said, "Are you coming?" So he was calling John out. Okay. Brian Albert was eager to be part of that crap going on. But I'm going to say that I think Chris Albert at the waterfall, I think what Chris Albert was, I do think he was trying to calm things down a little bit, and that's why he did. I don't believe he went back to the house.
I think he was trying to control the situation because they're right across the street from D&E Pizza.
Well,
And he's like, I know everybody here. Everyone here knows me. Like, you can't do that shit here. I'm a selectman here. You can't fucking do that.
But aside from that, we know he's a little bit of an asshole. But aside from that, he also does not have the same personality that his brother has. Okay.
No. Yeah,
so
but
he's
no, I don't think. I don't think he was trying to calm anything down. I mean, he was just looking out for himself and saying, if you're going to do something, take it somewhere else. Don't do that shit here.
Maybe
you're going to make me look bad.
Maybe
that's all I think it was.
I just think there was so much alcohol involved, and people, and the testosterone was so, going on. And then, do I think that Colin Albert did anything to kill John O'Keefe? I do not think so. Was he there? Possibly, because he's like a little bit of a dick. Okay. So he might be aware of what's going on, but I do believe that Brian Albert was the main person involved. I think that Brian Higgins was there as well. I don't think that he was the one that, I think John O'Keefe fell back, hit his head, and they were in a big fucking mess.
See, I don't speculate as to go that far.
Well, you're not, but
all I'm saying is that Brian Higgins, to me, has the most motive, but I won't speculate beyond what goes beyond once John O'Keefe was inside that house, because I have no idea what happened.
I believe that Brian Higgins,
I believe he was attacked. I believe he was beaten. I'm just not going to say who I think it was. The only person that makes the most sense to me is Brian Higgins because of the motive, but I don't know what the fuck happened in the house.
What I'm going to say is that Brian Higgins had the most motive, but I believe that if you put up John O'Keefe against Brian Higgins, I don't know that Brian Higgins could have taken John O'Keefe, but I think that Brian Albert just likes the sport of it. Like, let's talk about the sport, because to him, it's a sport.
Yeah, but you're speculating as to what happened inside that house. That's something that I just won't do. Because I can't. There's nobody who merits me pointing a direct finger at and singling out. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Well,
I know that they all lied. I'll call them all liars. Yeah, I'll call every single person in that house a liar. But
because
I'm not going to call anyone directly a murderer because I don't have any evidence to indicate it, to dictate it.
Let's just say this: Brian Higgins or Brian Albert destroyed their phones. There's a lot behind that. There's a reason.
Yeah, sure. Nobody's disagreeing
with
that either. Nobody's disagreeing with that either.
Real. I mean, there's stuff that went down in that basement. You don't completely rip up your basement before you sell your house, unless there's a reason.
$50,000 under market value, right?
So let's be real about, common sense has to prevail here, right? So that's all I'm saying. I think that the next trial, as it comes around, if it comes around, I'm not sure it will. I think there's so much going down right now. If it does, I think that, the defense, obviously in the first trial, they gave it a real quick shot to see if they could just get it done. It didn't. So now they have to revisit, and they will bring so much more to the table that they didn't before. That's what's going to happen, And I am hoping that, I look at Michael Dots, and I look at you, and I look at all these people. You bring so much to the table for Karen Reed. It will be, we're talking like 2-3 months coming down the road. There's a lot going to happen in the next couple months. We just have to, stay on top of it and be supportive.
Right.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We ain't got no quit, as they say.
We've got no quit. But with that said, I pray that the people that really, we have to remember that John O'Keefe lost his life. Officer John O'Keefe, not John O'Keefe, Officer John O'Keefe. He deserves that respect. And the people that actually caused this need to be held accountable. And let me tell you, Lucky Loughran, God bless him for stepping forward. He spoke the truth. And I hope that people recognize that there are questions. Like there was a question about there being a Ford Edge at 3 o'clock in the morning or 3:30 in the morning in front of 34 Fairview.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, I believe and I'm just saying this, it's my opinion. I believe people keep saying it's Brian Albert's car. No, I believe it's Kevin Albert's Ford Edge. I believe that he was called to come help his brother fix the problem. That was his Ford Edge. And I don't know why no one's talking about that.
Turtle Boy is. I mean,
well, sort of. They keep saying it, but I believe that was Kevin Albert's Ford Edge. He was called and he came over to help his brother fix the problem. And that's my opinion. So,
all right. Well, thank you.
By the way, congrats on your new kitty. My 2 kitties, Max and Milo, I sent you a thing. They are thrilled you have a new kitty.
I love it. I love my new kitty. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Everything you do. Have a great evening.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Michelle Smith gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Oh my God. She was nice. She was nice. Be nice, guys. She's just a lot. Yeah. It's just a lot. And it's the end of the night. You guys, we're all Departed fans, right? It's always like, why is the last caller of the night always the hardest? It's not. It's because you're tired and you don't give a shit. It's not supernatural. It's not her, it's me. But yeah, that's all that was. She was very sweet. You never saw that? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. This is AA for Karen Reed people, for free Karen Reed people. You've decided. I don't know what to tell you. One of these days, I might bust out a bottle of scotch and just say, fuck the world. You never know. It might happen. You never know. I've done it before. I might just go back to Oakleafing. Y'all don't want that. End up fucking just like Sarah Boone. Drinking 1.5 liters a night, homie. And a big shout out to attorney Melanie Little. She was covering. I know I was supposed to cover the Sarah Boone thing. It just didn't feel natural. You know what I mean? Like it didn't feel natural. And it feels like it's gonna be a quick trial. She took the stand today, and I was just like, dude, this lady. So yeah. I'm following it. I'm keeping up with it, but I've kind of given up on covering it. I'm just gonna stick to the developments in this case because there's a lot of shit surrounding, and I'm just gonna stick to everything that's surrounding this case between Krusty Panties, the rubber ducky guy, Turtle Boy stuff, Karen Reed, of course. I'm just gonna just focus on all of that stuff right now. I don't have the patience for covering a trial right now, honestly. And I just got this kitty. This new kitty and Clubber together. I'm still adjusting here. So I'm not spending my day sitting here dealing with Oh my God. Sorry, guys. I gotta go dig the cat out of here. I am gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. It's gonna be a short one tonight, guys. Normally I go 3 hours. We're only doing a 2 hour and 15 minute tonight. And tomorrow morning, though, I'll make it up to you, and we're gonna cover the Ducky Gate, the Great Ducky Caper hearing. So we're gonna go over that, and we'll hang out a little bit, and I might even open the phones after that. So you guys are fantastic. And remember, check me out on Resistant to Silence next Tuesday, a week from today, 6:30 p.m. And tomorrow, I know you guys will be watching Turtle Boy live. But if you can, catch the replay of my appearance on Hannibal and Monty, because they are just so fun. They're, again, my favorite channel. But anyways, guys, you guys are absolutely fantastic. I can't tell you enough how grateful I am for you and all of your support. And please make sure to hit the like if you haven't already. And please, all you new subscribers, I really hope that you're enjoying the channel, because I'm really enjoying this community just growing and growing, and it just gets better and better the more it grows, and it's amazing. And I'm so grateful to all you guys. So thanks. Anyways, guys, I love you very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.